from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. It's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Opened back in 2003, have a look at the Lincoln Financial Field, where 70,000 are rocking and ready to go in Philadelphia. Just a short time ago, these Philly fans in full roar as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. Pyrotechnics ablaze. They're set to go as their Eagles will match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
First time we get to see this Baltimore offense here, and feast your eyes on the Madden cover man, Lamar Jackson, taking the field, ready to lead them at quarterback.
We both know it's a league where they seemingly throw the ball just about every play, but watching him perform last week where he threw 3 touchdown passes still caught my eye in a big way.
Still kind of the gold standard, 3 touchdown passes, isn't it? And for his efforts last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
I can't wait to see what he does this week.
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line.
From the gun, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked him back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available, and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game.
Justin Tucker.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Eagles for their first drive, led out by their quarterback in his 5th year in Philly, Carson Wentz.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw. Forced out to his left. He'll try and run it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They hand off to their big tight end. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That's good for an Eagles. 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Wentz going to throw. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production with. I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Calais Campbell on the
last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8. At the
From the gun, it's Wentz. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Fine work by the Baltimore defense to help bring up 4th down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Ravens 7, Eagles 3.
So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
And you know he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the 2nd round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone?
2nd and 11 at the 41. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And that will be incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Tough running, but not a lot to show for it. They stop him shy of the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The ball switches back over to Mark Ingram and the Ravens. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
But those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Ingram again, a first down carry. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 2nd and 12, operating from the 39.
At the 39-yard line.
Here's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On 3rd down, Jackson flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They give him a gain of 37.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Jackson going to look to do it himself. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense going to have to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Jackson will keep it, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Ingram with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker now for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was finished off by the 14-yard touchdown run.
Justin Tucker to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 28 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Wentz to throw again. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Now this will make it into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10. At their own.
Mark Ingram now gears up to help lead this offense back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, and now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Calais Campbell in there to get him. It's a loss of 5.
The Ravens had a big season in 2019, but we're still looking to strengthen their pass rush. And they bring in Calais Campbell, a 5-time Pro Bowler, and he was acquired for the low cost of a 5th-round draft pick. 31.5 sacks his last 3 years. He's been to 2 NFC Championship games and a Super Bowl. He wants to carry the Ravens back to the Super Bowl with him.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Browns who have the lead in the 2nd quarter. Odell Beckham, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Adrian Peterson has a touchdown there. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And that game all tied up as they do battle with the visiting Lions. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Wentz. Man open, it's Goodwin. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Wentz on the bootleg. Left side here to Sanders. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the foot. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window. Zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call.
Receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Caught by Snead over the middle.
Jackson's pass.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21.
10 yards.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Here's Ingram. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just have a break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
On the tackle. It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Jackson throwing on target to Brown. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
And he's got some space here. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
The tackle made.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. He's got the hat trick, 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves a tip of the cap.
It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run.
Justin Tucker
Now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. It sees the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the 3rd quarter, but a moment ago, the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
No gain on the play.
He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Sanders. That's good for an Eagle.
Yeah, right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting 3rd down so far this year. They're the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on 3rd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the 1st level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. Wentz now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
3rd and 6.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They'll try to run with Sanders. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles have retaken the lead.
Jake Elliott on
And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The return man, Chris Moore. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. On the move to his left. They go screen. This is Ingram. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vic Beasley. A sensational effort by him, and that is one of the biggest losses you'll ever see on a sack. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Sliding out of the pocket. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Brandon, never ceases to amaze me just how fast these defensive ends are in the game nowadays. Part of that is what we've seen in college football, where they've gotten smaller and faster on the defensive side of the ball. But they've brought that to the NFL because it is hard for an offensive lineman to keep them away from the quarterback.
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Whenever you see a quarterback break contain, just think to yourself, the receivers on that side of the field, their number 1 job, make sure they get in his sight line so he can try and find someone downfield. Guys on the backside, make sure you don't give up the deep ball. They tried it there. They weren't able to connect.
Take over 1st and 10.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They've dropped 4 straight games coming into this one, remember, but they have the lead here. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Here's Wentz to throw, and that is incomplete.
Intended for Deshaun Jackson.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And now on 4th and 1, it's a fake. And this is caught, and the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. A big first down on the fake punt. What a call, 16 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through, and they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Philadelphia, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they taste defeat for the first time this season as they drop to 5-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.